Hey, what's going on, guys? Soul here, and welcome to my recap of Square Enix's stream that they had for City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia today, October 28th, 2019. So before I start, big shout out to Garland OPCP for providing me these slides as usual. The guy does excellent work. He has a YouTube channel that covers DFFOO, so if you'd like to check him out, I will leave a link to his channel in the description. And he's also my Discord, so if you want to talk to him or me or other players, then, feel free to swing by and say hello. There's going to be, Chaos dedicated channel and everything for comps, so, there's some good stuff. But anyway, without further ado, guys, let's get started. I was excited for this stream. Let's go. So we are getting Sherlotta on November 1st. Leon is going to be featured in Sherlotta's event, and I'm really excited for Sherlotta. A lot of people are. She's going to be the last new character we get before Chaos hits. And yeah, she is a god tier support. Really, really, really good. If you skip her, you're not screwed. People always like to say, oh, if you skip this character, you're going to regret it. Well, you're not. But she's really, really good, and definitely worth the investment. So yeah, I will be chasing her as well. So some quality of life improvements. November 6th, we're going to get the World of Illusion weapons added to the Power Token Exchange. Which is really nice. There are some that are pretty much worthless, like Rem and Yuna. Their World of Illusion weapons are garbage. But there's some that are really good, like Cloud, his World of Illusion weapon. If he inflicts a critical hit with an ability, it dispels one buff from the enemy, which can be huge, especially when you're not running a native dispeller and the enemy starts buffing themselves. So if you're going to EX plus Cloud's EX, for example, that will dispel every single time you use it because that thing does so many hits, it's going to crit, and yeah, it's good stuff. And then so we're going to get some 100 extra free slots for storage. The purchasable slots are going to go from 500 to 600. And very exciting, we are getting the summon board auto button. So, instead of having to sit there for 30 seconds and tap spaces, you've maxed your character out. You've worked so hard and they had to spend a full minute tapping spaces, hit confirm. Now you just hit an auto button, boom, good to go. We did not get news, unfortunately, of the wild points and the universal summon board points yet, which sucks. I will go into detail more on that later. But hopefully that appears before the Brothers World of Illusion, because that is going to be an absolute nightmare, if not. So, EX Weapon Realization. That is going to be the one time I say that, because I think the devs took a day off, the translation team. Realization just sounds awful, and so I'm just going to say EX+. So, you're going to EX plus a weapon. It has to be full max MLB. And then you're going to use a Book of Ruined Mysteries. It is going to plus the weapon, so it's going to raise the stats and the CP, and it's going to give you a more valuable than gold ingot. So then, once it's plussed, you can use 3 ruined adamantine ingots to limit break it. And then once it's fully max leveled, you get a sphere. Now, spheres, especially early on, are not worth chasing, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree. The effects are pretty minimal. Like, it'll be something like, inflict a break and your attack goes up by 10% for 3 turns or whatever. So, they're nice to have if you have it, but it's definitely not like a make or break, like, oh my god, I gotta have this sphere, I gotta do this and that. Now, later on, there are some really nice spheres. Like, Aerith gets a really nice sphere. I really like Vanille's. I think Vanille is, you like dispel enemy buff with a crit or something. So it's, there's some decent ones, but I don't think by and large they're that worth chasing. Speaking of spheres, there are 5 types, A, B, C, D, and E. Different spheres, and different weapons offer different spheres. So each character in the 70 era is going to have 2 sphere slots. You get the 3rd sphere by maxing their EX, their armor plus. And so each character can only have 3 slots, like I just mentioned. And they can have a variety of combinations. Like Cloud here in the picture, you can see has A, D, and E. There are some characters, I think Garland is just A. And so you cannot equip spheres that they are not compatible with. And the really bad thing about spheres is that if you equip one and then you decide later on, oh, I actually want to equip this one instead, the sphere that you're replacing it with overwrites the old sphere, and the old sphere is lost forever. So it's a pretty risky business, these spheres. So there's going to be an enhanced campaign November 6th to the 30th. We're going to get new enhancement materials for EX plussing, refining, and gear experience. So there's going to be a permanent mission for data backup where we're going to get a weapon and armor book, one-time login bonus, a weapon and armor book, 3 EX power, and 3 EX guard orbs. And then Chocobo panel missions, we're going to get a bunch of pages and nuggets. So pages and nuggets, once you have a certain amount, they can be combined into adamantine ingots and books, and then you can use them then just normal. It's kind of a lot to take in, but once you get into it, it's really easy. It's all explained pretty well. So same thing with armor, like we just went over weapons. You use a book of Refuge Mysteries, all of a sudden now it's plussed, and then you use these Refuge adamantine ingots, and once it's fully maxed level, you unlock the third sphere slot. So we are getting level 70 Crystal Awakenings, batch 4, November 7th. Cypher, Cloud, Garnet, Vincent, Dank, Cecil, and Yang. Garnet is getting that beautiful costume. I really like that costume a lot. But Vincent and Cloud both will be getting their EX Plus here. And I've already decided Cloud is going to be my first EX Plus fully maxed weapon. He's pretty incredible, especially in early chaos, and I'm expecting him to do some work for me. His EX Plus is pretty nuts, so that's going to be fun. We're also getting some Heretic quests, so the aforementioned 6 will be synergy here. There's going to be beatback challenge missions and a solo-only chaos quest, so that'll be a nice kick to the teeth for everyone involved. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so encountering the Furnace Keepers. Oof, okay. So we're getting Fang's Lost Chapter November 11th. Garland is going to be debuting November 14th, and he gets this costume. I really like this costume. He gets these like white robes instead of the typical purple, and he also kind of has like the Thanos chin going on there, if you look. So it's an interesting look, but I like it. I think it works. And then I'm sitting here thinking, regarding Garland, I don't know if I'm going to draw on him or not. I think I'm going to, but I'm not going to have the ingots to plus his weapon, which is going to be a problem, and then I probably won't be able to use him in Chaos, but I'll still be able to probably use him in Cosmos, level stages, which will help with like Fiat and the Abyss Beta and all that. But yeah, I don't think, just because ingots are so incredibly rare, guys, like I was talking to a JP player earlier today, and he was telling me that, he thinks on average that players get, outside of Fiat, Far Into Dimensions, which is kind of like the Abyss Beta, outside of that, they only average, like, typically around 1 ingot a month. So, yeah, they're saying that ingots are rare is an understatement, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Oh, I hope you like grinding, because we're getting the World of Illusions Ultimate Leviathan. So, as mentioned earlier, we have another grind here. Ramu just finished. Well, hey, Leviathan's time to step in. Featured characters are Kryl, Kefka, Tifa, Laguna, Zell, and Shantaro. Kryl is getting her EX+. So if you get that, that will make farming here so much easier. Leviathan isn't too bad of a farm, and like I mentioned earlier, like way back in like the first or second slide, we don't have the universal summon board points mechanic yet, which isn't a big problem because Leviathan isn't that bad of a farm. But we need to have it in place for Brothers. Devs, if you're listening, if you're watching, please put it in before Brothers. Brothers are an absolute nightmare to farm. And oh God, please put in the universal points. Now, regarding the synergy characters, I actually don't have any of these characters really equipped that well. But I do want Kefka's EX. And I know that his EX is featured on one of the banners. So I'll probably chase his EX, get that, and then he's going to be my go-to guy. But I imagine that Kryl, or maybe even Tifa, would probably be the best options here. Laguna would do really well with his EX as well. And then November 25th, we are getting Deuce's Lost Chapter. That's going to have the Chaos. The Dapper Octopi, the Nightmare Fuel creatures are back. Oh, boy. Oh, brothers and sisters in arms unite. Remember how much of a nightmare her EX stage was. Well, not only is the nightmare returning, but it's chaos difficulty. You thought you wanted to end yourself before. Oh, ho, ho, my friend. Let me stop you there. You haven't seen pain yet. Deuce's EX is going to drop on that banner, and Ace's EX will be returning as well. And I want both, so I'm going to chase both, and I'm probably going to run like Deuce, Ace, and I'm not sure who my third person is going to be yet. A healer. It'd have to be a healer, of course. Maybe Sherlotta, I don't know yet. But anyway, yeah, so that's going to be a nightmare. And then November 28th, Ultimecia. Ultimecia is a hugely anticipated character. She's like near Vayne levels of hype, and for good reason, because her EX Plus is absolutely absurd. Very, very, very strong character. And yeah, looking forward to her as well. And that was the last slide. So 2 big things I think to take away from this, guys, and then I'll let you guys go. Number 1, the devs did not mention any tweaks to Chaos, which means it sounds like we are following JP for better or for worse heading into early Chaos, which is worrisome because the devs even admitted themselves that they made a mistake when they were implementing Chaos into JP. It was too difficult. Garland's event had to be extended a full month because players couldn't complete the Chaos stage. Turns are extremely strict. And it's the roster went, because we have like 100 and almost 10 characters now. The roster was pretty much cut down to like 10 characters that could actually complete the stage. And that was it. And so it's worrisome and a bit irritating that they haven't tweaked it at all, despite admitting it was a mistake. So the hope is that they do what they've been doing for us lately, which is, where EX stages or Cosmos stages, they've been moving the score requirements. They've been lowering them a little bit. So like in JP, for example, the target score for the top prize might be 400,000, and in Global they lowered it to 300,000 or something. So I'm hoping they do the same thing for Chaos, or they extend the amount of turns that we can take, because if not, then we're going to have the same problem, and it's going to kill a lot of people's rosters, and it's really going to be a shame. So hopefully they do some kind of ghost nerf here, because otherwise we're in trouble. And number 2, no Beatrix. A lot of people, including myself, thought that we would get a Beatrix Lost Chapter mentioned sometime in the month of November, because they moved so much content up into October. And so we were like, okay, there's going to be a slot. There's an open slot. They're going to put something right there. It's going to be Beatrix. No Beatrix mentioned. So it sounds like she's now pushed out of November into December, barring any surprises. Which, I mean, it's disappointing, but I get it. Because at this point, I don't think they can release Beatrix out her EX+. If they release her without her EX+, she's worthless. She's DOA heading into Chaos. She could probably still handle Cosmos, but Chaos, she's not gonna cut it. And if she's released too early into Chaos, she's going to trivialize early stages, I think, because she's built for like mid-tier heading into end-tier kind of Chaos levels. So, yeah, it's disappointing, but I get it. So, anyway, I don't care, ESPN, please. Anyways, guys, so let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. Are you guys excited? What'd you think about the stream? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm just hoping that they learn their mistakes from Chaos and they tweak some things, but, ultimately we'll see what happens, guys. But that's it for me. I've talked your ears off. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my next video, which will be Leon's Lost Chapter in the next day or so. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Shameless pandering. And I will see you guys in the next video very soon. Until then, guys, take care. Thanks again.